And we are back. And look who's here!
It's herself.
It's herself. Introduce yourself, girl.
Hi, I'm Shora.
You don't need to introduce yourself.
Hi, Auntie. We've never met before. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. What do you think about the gyms not opening until September?
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Yeah, it's.
Andy was on TV. Oh my god, we've not even spoken about that.
I was going to say, I saw you on TV. Like, I saw your interview. That's insane. Well done, you.
Yeah, it was quite funny. Quite funny. So as everybody knows, I love Home Bargains. So I was in Home Bargains yesterday morning, and one of the wee wifeys that works in there starts screaming, "It's a celebrity!" And I'm like, fucking shit, I've got a mask on. I didn't realise she could see me. She's like...
That's how you know you've made it, when you're spotted in Home Bargains.
I know, eh? I was like... She's like, "I'll get your autograph later." I was like, "Yeah, sure you will."
Wow.
Right.
So...
But yeah, no.
Yeah, what do you guys think about waiting until September?
I think just due to the fact that you've got pubs open, folk can go and spend all day in a pub, they can go and spend all day in a cafe, they can go and get their... The whole point of like things like hairdressers not being open was because a hot air apparently moving around, fires this virus around.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get your hair dried.
Yeah.
But like, so I just think it's very, very frustrating. There are a lot of people in the fitness industry who this is their job, and it's putting them in a real bad place. Especially when at the same time that supposed to go back to the gym to work in, they're going to start opening sports stadiums. So they're going to put like 60,000 people in a fucking stadium, but they can't open a gym. They're going to open bingo halls where the most at danger are going to go and start fucking going and shouting bingo, and they're putting them all in the same room. So it's frustrating. As I said previously, like, I don't know what experts they've been using, but they're certainly not using any experts that actually know anything about the fitness industry. So that's maybe something that, as a collective within the fitness industry, we maybe need to start addressing these situations and maybe try and make our way into getting our own fitness party for the government.
Well, to give like the other side of it, as someone who used to teach pump and spin, and there would be condensation, sweat, people's breath running down the walls, I can understand why. But at the same time, like, it's the bingo halls, like literally the most vulnerable group of people together in a room. Like, it does seem ridiculous. And I totally agree that this is the industry that is really suffering now. Like, this is the last one that they seem to be helping. And then they've just launched this campaign. They could be like doing some sort of exercise referral. They could be sending all these unemployed PTs and coaches out into like parks and doing boot camps, free boot camps for everyone. The government's funding it. I don't know. There needs to be some sort of help for us.
Yeah, I think, and it's not even just obviously the huge financial cost to for a lot of PTs who are self-employed and who aren't getting the help. There's so many people that have fallen through the gaps there. Mm-hmm. So I really feel for that. But even just what? I mean, it's fine for me, right? I've never been busier, but like, what if you have nothing to do and you're just kind of like getting like, okay, well, England's open, so it's only going to be 2 weeks till we open, and then it's like, bam, no, it's not. And I understand it's a really hard situation to be in. However, I think if you are a personal trainer at the moment and like you've moved your clients online, which most people have successfully done, which is amazing, do not be negative about this. Like, you cannot be negative about it. It's so infectious. If I turned around to everyone in Commit 6 in Scotland and was like, well, this is the worst thing that could have possibly happened. Yeah. Like, how demotivating is that? You're so like, right. It's awful. And also look at the results we've got during lockdown. You don't need a gym for any of this. So yes, it's annoying. Yes, it doesn't make any sense. But where's your energy best placed? Being annoyed at that, or just continuing bettering yourself? Yeah. And I say that for personal trainers as well. Like that, and I get the intention of like these petitions and things, but for the time that it takes for like it to go through the next stage and someone else to read it and it get passed on, you're bloody in September anyway. I just think, focus on things that you can control and positive mental attitude.
Yes, adapt and overcome. That's what we've always been doing, isn't it?
Adapt and overcome. Yeah. Thank you, Charles Darwin.
So let's move on to something a bit more ridiculous. So this is the Up Close and Personal Trainer podcast, and for the first time we have a man on the podcast, which I think is going to be really exciting. Because like normally we talk about like dating deal breakers, we talk about relationships.
Shauna's like, this is going to be really exciting. Andy's like,
Andy looks low-key terrified.
I'm sitting here. I'm probably more nervous than I was when I was on live television, to be fair. My butthole's puckering up.
Yeah, buttholes are something that we discuss regularly on the podcast, so it's fine. Andy, more of that, please.
Let's do it.
So I've had a couple of friends and clients who have been like texting guys all through lockdown and now have finally gone on their first date now that lockdown's ended. Have you got anyone like that, Andy? Or do your friends like share that sort of stuff with you?
Yeah, in the last podcast we had someone who was like, yeah, I'm really struggling to stick to my diet because I'm going on like 2 to 3 dates a week. I was like,
yeah, I heard that.
I was like, I've not been on that many dates in like 2 years, let alone need to up my game.
One of my best friends, like when she does Tinder, she does it like that. Like she'll commit to it full time. There'll be 3 nights a week. She will and she'll see these dates all the way through to the end as well. Like she won't.
What do you mean through to the end?
That's the back though.
There'll be a happy end.
You know that one where you see the feet hanging out the toilet window as you go in, so someone trying to get out.
Yeah. Oh, just getting to the toilet, running out the back door. Yeah. I don't know how people can be bothered
to go on that many dates.
Yeah.
Well, she is
maybe like. You need to open your viewpoint, Emma.
Well, I mean, look, it's working so well for me, so I'm just going to stick to what I'm doing.
I don't think you'd have time.
I'm in a fortunate position that I've never had to do the online dating circuit, which is like for me can I go full on this?
Yeah, you can swear.
It would freak the fucking shit out of me. Like watching programs like Catfish on MTV. Holy shit!
I don't think you could do that anymore.
I'm pretty sure you can.
How are you going to if someone wants to catfish me? How are they going to do it?
Who's going to easily. You just go online, pick up a different picture, set up a whole new social media.
Yeah, but it's so obvious. Like you cannot set up an Instagram, get a load of followers, set up a Facebook profile.
I think it's obvious, but the number of folk that still get catfished is unbelievable.
And because FaceTime, every time do you want to FaceTime? Oh yeah, but I'm gonna just turn my camera off because I'm an old man basically.
Right. Oh, did you actually talk completely different set of fish? Did you see the some of the Zoom calls over lockdown that went wrong?
Oh,
did you see the guy that was like standing in complete scud at his work? Then there was like 50 folk on the Zoom call, and there's like women going, Ian, the camera. Ian walks up to the camera, and it's like swinging back and forward in the camera. And then he turns round because he's obviously not heard them and bends over. So you see the whole Rusty Sheriff's badge, and then it's like then he realizes and chucks like a t-shirt over the camera. But there was a
too
couple.
Late, babe. Too late, Derek.
Work, seen everything. You may as well stay on lockdown. You're going back. But the other one was, did you not see the one from, I'm sure it was through in Glasgow, where somebody was doing a online class, and there was 2 like 60-year-old blokes jacking off in the corner.
Yeah, can you imagine you were teaching that class? What would you do? Would you keep going?
That's it. I'm not doing any more Zoom. I'm done. That's right.
People are very strange.
Yeah.
Why were we talking about
that? The dating scene.
The dating scene, right? Okay, so I wanted to tell you about 2 of my friends' dates, their first dates, and like those like a million red flags, and I wanted to see if these would be red flags for you.
Okay, okay. And then
should we find something red to flash in the camera if we just go?
Oh, that's a great idea.
They're wrong, because I was virtually about to pick out Laura's pants there, but I think that's pretty poor on her.
I have a sweatband What
I'll
they
just use
do?
my mouse.
Right, okay. So first of all, this is friend number one. She went on the date with this guy and she'd been messaging him all through lockdown. She was so excited about meeting him. And then she met him and he wouldn't stop bothering her dog.
What do you mean bothering?
Right, so she's got like a little King
This is
Cavalier,
really
King
bad.
Charles. Like, you know those little Lady and the Tramp dogs, right? So she's a little cute dog. She's quite old. And he was like patting her, but then like she was like, okay, I've had enough play, and he was like kept trying to play with her, kept like you know.
Do you know what that
teasing her.
is? Nerves.
Is it?
Oh, 100%. Because I think he'll just feel uncomfortable, and then I think that's what it is.
I think it says that he's got no boundaries. He doesn't recognise other people's boundaries, especially the dogs.
He can't read the dog's boundaries. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I mean, I've never bothered a dog, but I have been on a first date where there was a dog, and I think I used it as like, because there was really not a lot of chat, and I was like, oh, look at the dog. Look what the dog's doing. Oh, the dog's so funny. So yeah, I mean, it would be a red flag because I wouldn't want to have to use the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? Like, I also find it really annoying, and this wasn't a date, but more just like what my mum used to do. So we used to have a dog, the best dog in the world, rest in peace. And every time we went on a walk with the dog, like you'd be having a conversation, like really like interesting, and then she'd just start talking to the dog.
Rude.
That really means that your chat's gone downhill very rapidly. Either that or
not even my mum wants to.
I know when your mum's doing that to you, that's rough.
No, my mum's brutal. Like, it's probably where I get it. I remember going home for dinner once and she just like stood up and was like, well, I have a lot of work to do, and then just went and did her work.
Love it.
But then that is something I would do, like 100%. I'd like, guys, I've got a lot of work to do. Can we just wrap this up? Okay.
Okay, next red flag. So then they continued on their walk, and there was these little baby frogs on the floor. And she was like, oh, look at the baby frogs. And he went to stamp on them.
Red.
Yeah. Major
Killing
red.
animals leads to serial killers.
Yes.
That's a no. The walk away.
Bear in mind, this man's in his 30s. Okay, and then a final deal breaker, red flag on this date. He was asking her about her financial situation. First date. Like, he wanted to know.
We can't go there because there are many females who do this. How tall are you? Oh, you're not tall enough. Do you have a job? If you don't have a job, it's deal breaker. So,
but I do think that not so much the financial status, and obviously some people can like lose their jobs and stuff. But someone's job, I think, says quite a lot about them, or it can do. Like if it's a career, it says a lot about them. Like Andy, like your career is a huge part of who you are. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you worked in Tesco, that might not be a huge part of who you are. Mm-hmm. Like it might just be, yeah, you know what, I do that, I make some money, and then actually my passion is whatever.
Yeah.
So I think like knowing what someone does, maybe not like how much money do you earn? Do you have a pension? Do you own your house?
Yeah, you wouldn't be going, can I see your last three bank statements?
Second date conversation.
Nick, can I get your last 3 bank statements, please? I need the...
Okay, so yeah, she's not seeing him again. I think we can all agree. So this is my second friend. Red flag number 1, and I think this is up for some debate here. He didn't pay her a single compliment in the entire date.
I'd go red flag on that one.
Too. Like, I don't think this is.
What do you mean? Like, what? What was he meant to walk up to him and be like, "You look very beautiful"?
Yeah, something like that. Like, "Oh, you look nice. Oh, you smell nice. I like your dress. I like your hair." Something. Not a single.
Just give her anything.
Anything. And
all right. Okay. I don't know if I didn't think I would pick up on someone not giving me a compliment.
No.
No.
But then, like, how do they flirt? Like, you need to have some sort of flirtation, don't you?
I like your knuckles. They're very pretty.
Your knuckles.
What's the weirdest compliment you've been given? Quite on the spot. I'm trying to think of one.
On the spot.
One of the funniest ones I had was when I was doing the door, when I worked as a bouncer. Honestly, she must have been in her 70s, probably one tooth. And I'm standing at the front door, and she comes up. She goes, "Darling, you look like a young Richard Gere." And I was like, "Well, you're no pretty woman." And it was, shall we say, it was a less salubrious environment. It wasn't the greatest.
Someone once said I look like Carol Vorderman, and I don't
Actually, that's a compliment. She's a good looking lady, but I don't know if that means that. Because you look very youthful.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you.
I think someone once. Do you remember Zoe Ball?
Yeah.
I can't even think what she looks like. Someone once said I look like her.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I actually haven't looked what she looks like, but
Yeah.
But she never had long hair, though, did she? She always had really short.
Maybe this was before I had long hair.
She was one of the original ladettes back in the 90s. Her and Sarah Fox.
I think it was because I looked like a boy until I was about 15. People might have been nice, like, "Oh, you look a bit like Zoe Ball." Actually, you look like a boy.
One of those thinly veiled, positive, negative compliment.
Oh, the best backhanded compliment I've been given is, "You look really hot for a lesbian."
Oh.
Oh.
That's not nice.
No.
They said, and it's people like you that make me want to stay a lesbian.
Yeah. You are the reason. Yeah. And surprisingly enough, Andy, you're correct. It was a man.
Yeah.
You can get that one. Blokes are assholes.
Although I'd actually basically been said that by a woman as well. I think she was quite drunk, but she was kind of like, "But you could get a boyfriend.
If you really tried."
Yeah, like you don't need to be a lesbian. You can actually get a boyfriend.
You're just not committed to it. You just don't understand yet.
You need to commit to the D, Emma. Come on, commit.
Vitamin D. We all love vitamin D.
Right, okay, next deal breaker. So she said, "So what have you been up to in lockdown?" And he said, "I've just watched a lot of Netflix."
Red.
Yeah.
I'd say half and half. It depends on what he was watching.
Yeah, but come on, get some. Like, do you know what? That was fine for the first. I'm gonna give you up to a month, which is a lot. I would probably say 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
After that, come on, like, I guess we didn't know how long it was going to go on, and I did not think it would go on this long. But that is ridiculous. Like, do you remember right at the start when people were like, "Oh, give everyone a break, it's a hard time, and like, we're in lockdown, no one knows what's going on, like, you don't have to exercise, you don't have to do this, like, don't feel pressured into it." Well, look what happened. Look what happened because of that. But I just think, like, you're going to feel so much better staying a bit active, having a routine. Like, when your whole routine has been taken away and you now work from home and you don't leave, and like, if you literally don't do anything apart from watch Netflix, you are going to feel like hell.
Yeah.
It's the same as these guys, the same as folk that are like gamers. Like, I've got a PlayStation. I buy a new game and play it for about 2 weeks, and then I don't play my PlayStation for 6, 7, 8 months. In fact, I don't have touched it for about a year. It's just, I just don't.
I didn't even have a TV.
That's right. You don't have a television, do you? That's right.
Yeah, but they're still hounding me for a TV license. And this is one battle I am not giving into. So I'm like I could just buy one, but then I'm like, well, do you know what? I hope they're not listening, but I did watch some TV. And do you know what I was watching? The coronavirus update on my laptop. And it can tell that you've watched BBC on your laptop. Yeah, so sent me an email with like...
Yeah, but they still can't, they've got no jurisdiction. So if they come up to your door and say, "We want to come in," you just tell them to fuck off. You shut the door on them. They can't, there's no law.
I would never say such a thing. I'd be like, "Would you like in for a cup of tea?"
You said that bad word in one of our podcasts. So
I have, yes, but it was in a very highly passionate moment.
That's a highly passionate moment. Go tell them to shove it.
Okay, well, that makes me feel more confident. Okay, continue with
if they hadn't exercised but they had done something a little bit productive, like, I did some gardening, or I learned Spanish, anything anything.
I wrote a novel. I wonder how many novels are going to come out.
There's going to be some shit ones, though, isn't there?
There's going to be so many novels out.
Lockdown Chronicles. On Monday, I went to the shop. Oh, maybe that's maybe my journal.
No,
Andy,
I think it'll be more like the sort of E.L. James style 50 Shades of Grey, but coronavirus.
50 Shades of Corona.
And then the final deal breaker for my friend was they went to a burger place, Bread Meets Bread, and he ordered.
Good show.
He ordered, like there is a bit more to this. He ordered a plain burger with a bun, with no gherkins, toppings, sauce, anything. And then they went to Loop and Scoop, which is like this big famous ice cream place in Glasgow. And he said he wants vanilla ice cream because it's his favourite.
Red flag.
He's going to wear slippers in bed. He's not going to float your boat. Get rid of him. Mr. Vanilla. That's all
Mr. Vanilla. Oh my god, as if like he is the stereotypical vanilla. Oh, and also, come on. So if anyone's never been to Bread Meets Bread, it's like an amazing burger place with like, you can't ever decide what burgers to get because there's so much going on. And then you've decided to have a plain burger.
As soon as you heard vanilla, all you know is lights off, missionary, done. Nothing else.
T-shirt stays on.
He's going to have his dressing gown on. The pipe's already smoking by the side of the bed.
If you're lucky. No foreplay.
Deal breaker.
So, what sort of flavour ice cream do you think would tell you the opposite about a person? Like, what do you think if they ordered, they'd be like, they are going to be good in bed?
I think it would have to be something that matches up to what you would go for, like mint choc chip.
I really like mint choc chip, but
you're a little bit naughty, Emma.
Only sometimes. It's like, don't you think that's a very like? I'm only naughty sometimes, but like, it's more of a palate cleanser.
I don't know why it's that funny.
That's a vanilla comment, Emma. Come on. That's as bad as a vanilla comment. It's a palate cleanser.
Yeah, as opposed to something like pistachio.
Get stuck in the ice cream. Come on. Get raspberry ripple.
Yeah, I think raspberry ripple like dripped sexily down the side of the ice cream with a flake, and they're like licking it. Yeah.
I
imagine that on a first date, like. Let me just get you a Mr. Whippy with some caramel sauce.
Many things you can learn from that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was also no second date for him, unfortunately.
Oh, what a shame.
Funnily enough. And then shall we move on to the question, the listener question that we had?
What?
Shall we move on to that? Okay, so are you ready, Andy? Dear Emma, Andy and Shona. So, I've always wondered this. My girlfriend and I occasionally use the strap-on, which I use exclusively, but we've had to limit the usage because of how quickly we get physically tired, lol. We experiment with different positions, but basically whoever is on top, usually me, gets worn out pretty quickly and my muscles just burn real bad. I'm embarrassingly unfit and I obviously can't go to a gym right now. I only have access to some basic equipment at home. What are some exercises that I can do to improve my performance? It's not even about stamina that much as it is about my thighs and quads absolutely killing me when I'm 5 minutes into thrusting.
5 minutes of thrusting is quite substantial.
Is that like 4 or 5 times?
5 minutes, yeah. So
this is a very interesting question.
I think this is literally like the perfect question for 3 personal trainers. Like, it's a valid question, isn't it? And also, isn't your background strength and conditioning, Andy? Like, this is something
real conditioning for this.
Emma knows Gil Stevenson. I'm pretty sure we covered this one in one of Gil's lectures.
Oh my good, don't. don't even. No, we're not going there.
Squats, pelvic bridges, and frog pumps, because frog pumps sound naughty.
Mm-hmm. But do you think like you'd have to do?
I think fitness. Like, I mean, really, she should join Commit to 6. But like, without doing that, then she should be working on her fitness as well, just general fitness.
Mm-hmm. Do you think 100 reps though is enough?
100 reps of what?
Like, do you not do the 100 rep challenge every day and Commit to 6?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to do more than that. That's just a little add-on for funsies.
Okay.
Yeah, she's going to have to get like a serious training program. She wants something performance specific. I would say Andy's probably the best person for that.
There's going to have to be a lot of mobility involved in that as well. You know, get your hip flexors stretched out, because you know you can't get cramp in your hip flexors. There's nothing worse.
Mm-hmm.
Lower back seizes up. Maybe that's just my age.
Maybe that's what happened to me. This listener is actually no joking.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, I actually have a listener question. Let me just get it up.
Yes.
So plenty of glutes, plenty of hip flexors, muscular endurance. I would say like lots of walking, lots of running, like anything that just gets like means that you can keep your heart rate at that level for longer than 5 minutes, and your partner will be very happy.
Can we slow this down? I'm going to take some notes at this moment in time. Last longer than 5 minutes. Seems like an awful long time. Just putting that out there.
What do you think is like the strangest reason that a client has started with you? Like, because obviously people say like, I want to lose weight or I want to get fit for a marathon. Like, what do you think is like the most out there thing that someone has come to you for?
I think I must have some really vanilla clients, because mine are generally really lined up with everybody else. Yeah, I've not had any really weird requests. I have had the emails about or the emails of, I really like muscular men. Would you come round to my house and like just pose for me? I'm like, nope. If I'm gonna, it's going to cost a lot of money. But yeah, that's a strange one.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not taking that person as a client.
No.
Yeah, I think the weirdest one, and it's not that exciting, but someone asked me to if I could help them get taller.
And could you?
Well, yes, obviously. No, I couldn't.
Sit down for hours. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had an awful one where a woman came in who quite clearly didn't really want to be there, and her husband insisted on coming around with us as we trained, and he just kept saying belly fat. Like, we wanted this. Yeah, it was really, really bad. I never trained her again. But basically, he like anything I did, he was like, we actually just want to focus on the belly fat area, and was like, I think he just wanted me to do crunches with her the whole time, which I was trying to explain would have no benefit whatsoever, but. Obviously, husband knows. I was like, why are you even here?
Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Have you not got rid of him yet?
Mm-hmm.
Very strange. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I think...
Surely with the yoga, you've had some very...
No one's come to you asking to, like, rid the chakras.
Kama Sutra. I need to be in every single one of these positions by next week. Yoga the shit out of it.
Well, you do notice as a yoga teacher that some things are a bit more comfortable, like the more flexible you get, if you know what I mean.
No.
And I'll just leave it there. No, I think.
You can't leave it there now. You've already started. You might as well follow through, or not follow through. One or two.
It's functional fitness, isn't it, Andy? Like. That's all it is.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Functional
training. I have a question which is not related to this, but I think it was Becky's check-in, she was like, oh, you know, I still go to CrossFit, although it's not called CrossFit anymore. And I was like, yeah, I get what you mean. Like, but what are people calling it? Has anyone like come up with a solution to that?
I think one of the problems was that people's gyms were called something CF, right? So they had initials or a logo that had CF. So they've changed it to Community Fitness, which I quite like, because I mean that's still, it does sound a wee bit like a bit special. Doesn't it?
It's like the LGBT community.
We're hanging
Come
out down
down to
at the
community
LGBT
centre.
community centre. Hello, Emma. Yeah, so we have changed our name to Unit 4 Health and Fitness.
I like it.
Yeah. But do you know what? There's still a lot of CrossFits out there. There's still people that are calling themselves CrossFit.
Shelley's just kept hers as CrossFit, I think.
Yeah, I don't think she's unaffiliated.
She stayed, because I know that obviously Homer Simpson, who ran it, has now left. But and I'm guessing that he was obviously the reason that everybody decided that they were going to jump. But now that he's jumped, are they staying away, or are they going to go?
Yeah, that's interesting. But I guess and actually, I'm just going to let Shona answer because she knows far more about this than I do.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I guess that the problem wasn't just him. It was that the thought is that there's racism throughout.
Yeah,
in CrossFit.
Yeah, I think that yes, it was all brought to light because of his comments, but it just wasn't addressed. You can't just remove someone then and be like, okay, well, it's all great now. They need to do something to make it more inclusive. And then there's this stuff that's come out now about Greg Glassman, that he was a bit of a total Harvey Weinstein, like a creepy bastard. So
the definition is a creepy bastard.
That always works better in a Glasgow accent. You creepy bastard.
And then I'm like, bastard.
So yeah,
there's no D in it. It's a T.
So yeah, he's a creepy bastard, and they've again not done anything to address that. And there's apparently these really famous female CrossFit athletes who are going to come out with a Me Too. So I don't think when we de-affiliated, we can't just then jump back in as soon as this guy, we need to see a change happen. And we might come back, but we did it for a reason, and we need to stick to that for at least a while until something changes.
The thing is as well, I think nobody cares. None of your clients care. Well, not. Sorry. The thing is, I think nobody cares about you anyway, so it doesn't matter what you do. No, I just think I know as someone who went to Shelley's gym, I can care if it's CrossFit gym. I mean, and that's because partly I don't compete in CrossFit, obviously, but I think most of your clients will respect you for the stance you've taken, but also B, not really care what the name on the door is.
Yeah, we actually had more people that said that they wouldn't have stayed if we'd stayed with CrossFit.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I think there's gyms that have stayed with CrossFit and they lost members because of that. And I don't think it would be the other way around. If
And the thing is, sorry to interrupt. The thing, can't say I was coming to your gym, but also I was deciding to be a CrossFit athlete. I can still train there.
Oh. Yeah.
And then do a CrossFit competition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the massive flaw in the whole plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what you say. That is the big flaw in the whole thing. You've got people walking away from it, but they'll still compete at the big events because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Just win the big money at the CrossFit Games.
People's beliefs will change due to the cash that's getting fired at them. Unfortunately, and that's just human nature.
Yeah, because I think some of these people now, some of these big famous CrossFit athletes are bigger than CrossFit.
Oh, 100%.
I know. I am. Yeah.
Emma's,
I've actually outgrown the CrossFit name. But I mean, Rich Froning is, right? Froning?
Yeah.
Whatever?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, these guys could quite easily start doing their own. He could quite easily do his own version of it, call it whatever the hell he wanted, and he would have so many people coming down his direction. Or
one of the big, Rogue or something could take it over.
I think that might be what will happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to have to go. I loved that.
That was fun. Sorry, Andy, how are you? You okay? How's your bum hole?
It's a little bit less puckered up now, to be fair.
Good.
It's a bit more relaxed. Well, I'm stressing out of this lasting 5 minutes malarkey. That's a bit.
You need to
We'll
get
have to
on
work on that
this new program to last more than 5 minutes. We should write it.
Yeah, if anyone wants to sign up.
Commit to 5.
No, more than 5. That's what Commit to 6 is all about. That's why there's the dating profile that everyone like stumbles across. When you search Commit to 6 in Facebook, obviously the group comes up, but also another group comes up, which is a dating thing. Mm-hmm. And it's also where I stole the logo from.
Emma was in there, couldn't find a date, and she got really pissed off, so decided to do her own thing.
Yeah. But it was where I got the logo inspo. So, yeah, there you go.
I did think the logo was very similar because I looked it up and I thought, oh, they must have copied Emma.
Oh,
hello.
Yeah, do you know what's funny? Everyone's like, oh, they must have copied Emma. And I'm like, yeah, how strange.
Yes, they did.
No, do you know what? I'm going to put my hands up and I'm going to say, I liked the logo, thought it was simple but effective. I took it and I made it better. And I think it's okay because I'm admitting it.
Yeah.
You took it, you made it better. It's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's how copyright works as well.
I think you've only got, is it not, you've got to have a certain number of differences? That's plenty. Yeah. One's fine.
Okay, that was lovely. Thank you guys for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay, we stopped. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
And breathe.
Oh, wasn't that bad?
Yeah, I think you were easy on me. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we need to. There was other stuff I wanted to cover, but